RSS starts speaking like this, there is clearly a Nelson's blind eye. There is tacit encouragement. There is a clear wink and a nod which suggests that this is all par for the course, all allowed. We don't say it, we are the good cop and the bad cop.
Okay.
He is the bad cop who says it, but the good cop will never take any action against the bad cop. And lastly, amongst all this, overwhelming all this, is the omnipresent, omniscient silence of the Prime Minister. A man as strong as he claims to be should have silenced everybody with just a stern look of the eye and a straight statement. It takes
I'll come back.
weeks and months before he sends out under media compulsion something. This is the real India. We never had it prior to 1.5 years.
Okay, but you haven't answered my question.
Where did we have it? We are not
you
talking
haven't
of law and
answered my
order. Of
original
course you have law and
premise,
order problems. Of course you have law and order problems in every government.
No, I'll come.
The premise,
Look,
which is the party,
I'm going to
Rahul,
put a couple of questions to the BJP.
130 years with all our faults.
Okay,
one sec.
No,
one sec. With all our faults, Rahul.
Let me bounce this off to BJP.
Our faults in all party. One party which has stood for inclusion and pluralism is the Congress.
Okay, but that's debatable. The BJP says that's debatable. There are a host of other people who say that's debatable.
We've never given that up.
Fair enough. Let me come back to that point. We'll examine that claim.
And let me tell you one second. It doesn't matter whether we are bad. Let us see what they are good about.
Okay, but
sir, no point them calling me names.
Well,
how do they solve this problem?
Well, this is not a competition. I understand it's not a competition, but Dr. Manu Singhvi, that doesn't absolve the Congress from also responding to certain questions. Now, Rahul Gandhi did not respond to a direct question to him on the 84 riots. Now, I'll come back to that. We'll examine that claim. But I want to bring in Sudhanshu Trivedi and I also want to bring in Anuja Chauhan. Now, Sudhanshu Trivedi, the government is asking, where's the intolerance? Is it being deliberately evasive on the hotheads and bigots in its own ranks? In the ranks of some of its other organizations that sort of are subsidiary organizations or what have you? Is there selectivism on part of the government? That's the fundamental question tonight. Mr. Trivedi.
Rahul, whenever a question is asked, there are two things. What is the substance and what is the context? Means what is being said and who is saying. First come to the substance. The process initiated from the Dadri killing. Our government has promptly acted, sensitively acted. We have asked a report from UP government, sent them an advisory. In the prima facie report of the UP government, they have neither mentioned anything communal, nor they have mentioned beef, even not an structured attack to killing, as if it was a mishappening. Go and read the report, but the reaction is this much. Second incidence, the killing of Kulburgi in the Congress-ruled Karnataka. What is the action taken by the government up till now? No report of any investigation and no report of any arrest. Then the killing of Dabolkar took in Maharashtra, which was then ruled by Congress and the center was Congress. What action they have taken in the last 1 year? Nothing is known. On the contrary, the Govind Pansare's Act, in which our government has come, it happened in the month of February, one arrest has been taken. Another thing, when the needle of suspicion went to Sanatan Sanstha, you might be knowing the fact that Sushil Kumar Shinde, as the Home Minister, has said that the then Chief Minister of Maharashtra was not serious about it. Otherwise, he would have spoken to me to putting ban on Sanatan Sanstha. So these are the concrete facts. And now who is saying? Dr. Singhvi is a learned lawyer. He is saying that the Congress culture was inclusive. I will give you just two examples of the inclusive Congress culture. That one Professor T.S. Joseph in Kerala, his hands were chopped off on the allegation that he has put a question which is something derogatory to Prophet Muhammad. This is a tolerance on one aspect. On the other hand, Mr. U.S. Ananthamurthy, who has said कि idols पर पेशाब करना चाहिए, urinate on idols. This is the freedom of expression. On one hand, your inclusiveness says in Shahbano case that the decision should be reverted in Parliament, that too of the Supreme Court, that there cannot be even a single intervention in the religious matters by the government. And in 1988 you say, Bhagwan Ram kahan paida hue, ye court तय करेगा. Court will decide where Bhagwan Ram was born. This was the level of inclusiveness. This is the basic fundamental problem. The tolerance word cannot come from the mouth of Congress party, which has done the biggest massacre after the massacre of Nader Shah. The biggest massacre was in 1984.
Okay.
And the biggest exodus after 1947 was the exodus of Kashmiri Hindus in 90s and the demographic change in Assam, which happened during their rule.
Okay, we've got opening statements. Anuja Chauhan, now you're a writer, you're an author. There are many within the writing fraternity which also seems to suggest that, look, a large number of the dissenters are adjuncted to the Congress campaign to wage politics by another means. How do you answer to this charge?
I think writers at least are in a better place to speak. Even today on your panel, everybody here is a spokesperson of a certain party. I think I'm the only person who's not. And I just feel that I don't think either of these parties can talk about tolerance. They cannot. So I think that I don't want the debate on tolerance, which is very viable and very necessary at a moment now where, you know, the Chief Minister of Karnataka has been threatened with beheading if he dares to eat beef in Shimonga. I mean, that has happened today. And it's happening all over the place. I don't think the Congress can speak about it. I don't think they should be allowed to take over this and taint this whole very genuine thing that everybody is worried about. I don't think either party should be holding forth on tolerance. Frankly, they don't have the credentials.
Okay, they don't have the credentials. We've heard Anuja Chauhan. Now, Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, and I'm coming out to you, Mr. Bhadoria, because you need to listen to the response from Dr. Singhvi. Dr. Singhvi, when I first asked you about whether the Congress's moral equivalence with regards to the 84 riots and other examples pointed out perhaps by the BJP spokesperson and others has exposed it on the question of tolerance, you didn't quite answer me. I want you to take this question.
Let me answer. Okay. You see, there is a fundamental conceptual error. The fact that incidents happened during Congress rule is undeniable. The issue is not that during your rule or any rule there are incidents of violence, law and order, desecration. The issue is totally different. The issue is, number one, do you as a BJP and allied organization represent an idea of India and a philosophy which is not part of the basic Indian ethos and culture? And that is a right-wing philosophy which is perhaps originated from Golwalkar's bunch of thoughts of exclusivism, of a certain narrow view of India. Second point is that when such incidents take place, are they inspired by this backdrop of persons who believe that certain people have a right to live in India only on conditions set by them? Now, as far as philosophy and thought process is concerned, this has never been the Congress view. Secondly, when such aberrations have happened, we are tragic, we consider them tragic, and we are deeply apologetic. No less than the Prime Minister of India then has apologized for the Sikh riots. The Gandhi family has apologized several times. Several big heads in the Congress have rolled. People forget the HKL Bhagats, the Sajjan Kumars. Title is facing action all the time. Now you have aberrations. They are not a matter of a consistent philosophy. Whereas in the case of BJP, they reflect a consistent philosophy. And last but not the least, if you were to only start counting, it would be no use. What you have to address is that there is encouragement for a philosophy and a thought process which is not there in the Congress. The Congress is, on the contrary, accused of appeasement of minorities.
But apologies can't be a substitute, sir, for justice.
At the same time, in the same breath, be accused of appeasement of minorities.
No, but sir,
you can't have both.
Apology.
Therefore, it is a question of a way of life, a thought process.
An apology doesn't suffice for the lack of justice. Now there are several
action, Rahul, not apology. Now you are only cutting my answer. I gave you answers. There were prosecutions. There were heads rolled. Political oblivion for many. A large number of prosecutions going on. Cases going on. Compensation given. Rehabilitation done. I am not justifying anything as bad as that. But I am saying the approach to it is totally different. Godhra did not lead to the same results. Godhra led to justification, defense, indignation. it led to statements. There's a vast difference because that comes from a different philosophy. There is an inherent justification there. The Congress, it happened during Congress rule, no doubt, but the response and the thinking and the approach is totally different.
Okay, Mr. Bhadoria wants to come in. Mr. Bhadoria, are you satisfied with that response? Many people will still find a couple of shortcomings with that, and I'll elucidate my point in just a few moments. But Mr. Bhadoria.
You see, let me say this: compassion, coexistence, tolerance have been the basic tenet of Indian philosophy from the times of Buddha. But we have seen in the last 3 decades, more particularly from the times of my activism, that both sides, whether it was the dispensation of Rajiv Gandhi at that time, or it is the present government of Mr. Modi at present. You see, even Mr. Rajiv Gandhi at that time said, if there is a big tree which falls, then certainly the earth shakes. What was that? Was it not a justification of the 1984 Sikh riots? And let me tell you, I don't want to just raise that issue. What about the Bhagalpur riots? What were so many other riots that took place? But I want to point out that both these forces are the different sides of the same coin. Today, the Prime Minister himself in Bihar, what is he doing? What is the National Party President Amit Shah doing? It is known to one and all. And I don't want to also raise that today itself, just in a day or two, the RSS is saying that JNU, which produced eminent people like R.K. Narayan, are full of anti-nationals. Who was our Dalit national president of India? I mean, do you mean to tell me from him down to students like us who fought for freedom and democracy and spent years together in prison, we were all anti-nationals? This is what it has come down to today. And that is why I want to say that this present government is no better. In fact, it is becoming worse, because anybody who's questioning them becomes an anti-national, and he has to be pushed, and they are being pushed, and they are saying that drive them away to Pakistan. They have no place in this country.
Okay.
This is their patriotism, and this is
Gaurav Bhatia of the
tolerance.
Samajwadi Party. Gaurav Bhatia of the Samajwadi Party. You've heard both the BJP and the Congress go at each other, justifying their stances and suggesting that they have the credibility to lead a march for unity to the President's house. I'm asking you, do you agree with this? Do you agree with the stand taken by both these parties, or do you think that they are the opposite sides of the same coin?
Rahul, I would only say that for the 84 riots, the Congress is to be blamed, and nobody can run away from that harsh reality. And a number of people from the Sikh community and others, even after 30 years, are waiting for justice. But we have seen what has happened to the Congress. They are down to 44. They have become very insignificant in Indian politics. Therefore, I would like to focus on the current dispensation. The current dispensation came on a promise of development. They said we will create jobs. But after even 1.5 years of them being in power, all that we have discussed in the last 1.5 years is love jihad, Shuddhikaran, Hindu Rashtra, and that is why when the intellectual class of India, the writers, the filmmakers and scientists come together to raise a very genuine concern that intolerance is on the rise, and the state, which has the duty to protect the citizens and their fundamental rights, is a mute spectator, and in protest they return the awards. I think everybody should take note of it, and it is time to introspect as a society.
No, but there is no unanimity.
Because ultimately,
no, there is no unanimity amidst the fraternity of filmmakers and writers that is likely the best way forward. The Home Minister has also extended an invite to discuss issues.
There would always be a minority even amongst these classes.
Okay,
but today even the common man is questioning the curbing of the fundamental rights, the right to expression and free speech, and this communal wave that is running in the country. Not because of the common man, but
No,
because
but look at
of
the question
BJP
of, you
ministers,
talk about free
because of
speech,
BJP
etc.
MPs.
Look at section 66A. That came up under the UPA also. So,
The
are
court,
we, no, one second,
the
are we
Supreme Court
institutionally also...
came to the rescue of the common citizens.
It did.
No, Rahul,
it did.
let us not say that if UPA was wrong, then that gives a license to the BJP to continue that wrong against
I agree
the
with you.
citizens.
I agree. Two
If
wrongs don't
today-
make a right.
if
But
today-
let's be a
Yes.
little more democratic
Absolutely.
in our criticisms. Let's be democratic. Let's look at this holistically. Now, one could assume
Let us look at
the Congress
let us
says,
look at the
okay, the
merits
Congress
of the
says
point
that
that has been
tolerance,
raised.
that the intolerance spreading under the Bharatiya Janata Party. Dr. Manu Singhvi is saying this, and I want Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi to respond to him, saying that there is an ideological thrust, there is an ideological weight behind the intolerance that we are seeing under the NDA. Dr. Trivedi, how do you respond to that? That the Congress might have made certain mistakes, but they were aberrations. This is a consistent...
No, actually the problem with our political opponent is that they only start seeing those things which were happening decades before. Like Gaurav Bhatia has said, that he has heard the phrase love jihad after we came into power. The fact of the matter is the love jihad phrase was first initiated by Mr. V.S. Achyutanandan, who was a Kerala chief minister in the decades when he was a Communist Party chief minister. The problem is that, all over the media and all over the intellectual establishment, it is said as if the cow slaughter has came into existence and the beef ban has came into existence after our government has came. In fact, it is invoked since 50s and 60s in 24 out of the 29 states, consistently putting the things in one particular perspective and then trying to demonize BJP. There are certain facts. As Sudhin Bhadoria ji was saying, that something was said on JNU. We consider that JNU is a very upright and a very high-level institution of intellect. But it is not the fact that in April 2001, when more than 100 CRPF Jawans were killed in Dantewada, there were certain hostels in which they have celebrated Diwali. They have distributed sweets. Has anybody noticed this type of thing?
No, we can keep trading.
Don't try to see things in one particular perspective. One more thing.
No, but sir, one second. The BJP, the BJP has made 2 points.
They are saying
which are creating.
That we should open a dialogue.
No, 1 second, sir. The BJP has made 2 points. So the government has made 2 points, which seems to suggest that you're soft. No, 1 second. Which seems to suggest that you have given
not the 2 points.
a greater, wider berth. Now, I'll tell you what. One, the government has come out and said that the PM is the worst victim of intolerance. And point number 2, and I want Dr. Singhvi to also respond to this, because point number 2 is that, well, these attacks against on intolerance, etc., are somehow maligning the image of India. Now, is the government right to link attacks on the question of tolerance to India's image?
1 minute.
No, 1 second, sir. 1 second. Let Dr. Trivedi take that and then you can respond to it.
1 minute.
Let Dr. Trivedi just respond to this and then you can come in, Dr. Singhvi. Yes.
No, one more thing I would like to complete. Mr. Rahul, I would like to complete. Dr. Singhvi has said that BJP is having a consistent record. And in their regime, it was an aberration. Yes, of course, the consistent record of the Congress party, I will tell you. In your program, few minutes back, you were having the interview of Siddaramaiah. He was saying that he couldn't go to Prashant Pujari's death. He can go to Kalburgi's death for obvious reasons. The same Congress party, they defend the killing of Afzal Guru. Ghulam Nabi Azad rushes to Delhi. Then Shashi Tharoor favors him. Manishankar Iyer favors him. This is a consistent policy. Saifuddin Soz gives a statement in favor of Masarat Alam. Again, from down south to up north. And even Srimati Sonia Gandhi is having tears in her eyes for Batala House encounter.
Let Dr. Singhvi
those who are
respond to that.
alleged of terrorism, but never has tears in the eyes for those
Can
who
I
are
also make a
beheaded.
very
This
brief
is the
intervention?
consistent policy of the Congress, which is a
No, let
dastardly
Dr. Singhvi
communal
respond to
politics
that.
of the
There is
South.
consistency. 1 second, sir. 1 second. Let Dr. Singhvi respond. There is consistency, sir.
is a
Dr.
saying.
Singhvi. Consistency.
You see, there,
I would like to
there
also
is a-
come
there
in
is a
soon
well-known-
after. For
There
us.
is a well-known tactic. There is a well-known,
Yes.
there is a
Go ahead.
well-known approach in the very philosophy of fascism, fascism's basic philosophy has been that if you disagree with me, I will treat that disagreement as anti-national, because I am the nation. What I say and think is the nation. That is the fundamental tenet of fascism. And that has been through the ages historically proved that wherever extreme right-wing views prevail, the attempt is to point all dissenters or disagreeers as those who are attacking the very fabric of the nation. And that is what is happening now. I am right, I am the country, I am India. If you say this against it, then you are anti-national. Number two, prior to the two statements you quoted, Rahul, there was a third statement, manufactured rebellion, and a fourth statement, these are Congress agents or Congress-inspired agents. Now let me ask you, Pranab Mukherjee has discharged his duties as the President of India most admirably. Can he be described as a manufactured rebellion? Can Kiran Mazumdar-Shah, can Narayan Murthy, but more importantly, Rahul, can your very own Naresh Gujral or your ex-very own Govindacharya be described as manufactured rebellion or Congress agents? There is a feeling across the country amongst artists, amongst independent thinkers, amongst robust thinkers. Man like Ramchandra Guha has criticized the Congress right, left and center through the ages. He has abused us. But if he raises a question, does he become a manufactured rebellion or a Congress agent?
Okay.
He's an eminent thinker. We know